This is a short introduction that we use at the start of each of our project readiness reviews. It helps us set the table for all participants and provide a good background on the Project Definition Rating Index methodology. PDRI is an acronym. It stands for the Project Definition Rating Index. It is an index, and it helps us score the level of scope definition on a continuum that will change as you progress through each of the stages of front-end planning. PDRI is one of the most comprehensive risk management tools available for front-end planning. It's used around the world in both greenfield and renovation and revamp capital projects. There are 3 versions of PDRI that are available. One for industrial projects. This includes a broad range of capital projects that typically have extensive piping and mechanical equipment considerations. It includes power plants, chemical plants, refineries, water and waste treatment, and manufacturing, just to name a few. The second tool is the buildings project, and this template is tailored specifically to commercial and building projects such as offices, medical facilities, institutional buildings, and government facilities. And finally, infrastructure projects, and it includes transportation, pipelines, transmission, and distribution, just to name a few. These projects typically cover a large geographic area with many stakeholder groups to manage, and right-of-way and environmental considerations are paramount. The PDRI methodology was developed by the Construction Industry Institute, or CII. CII is a research consortium of over 140 members, including owners, engineering and construction contractors, suppliers, and academic institutions. Over the past 20 years, 10 research teams have worked collaboratively to develop industry best practices in front-end planning, including the PDRI methodology. To date, over 96 billion in projects have been benchmarked by a CII by companies that use their front-end planning best practices. There are 3 primary benefits for a project team that uses PDRI. First, it's a proven method to quantify the level of scope development during front-end planning. Secondly, it's an excellent way to promote alignment between everyone on your project team, regardless of whether you represent the owner or a design contractor. When we work together through a PDRI session, we have an opportunity to highlight any poorly defined areas or gaps in scope definition in a very objective manner. And finally, all of our efforts in the session help in identifying risks and feed into the project's risk assessment process. PDRI sessions are held at multiple points in the front-end planning process. The first session, or PDRI 1, is typically held at the end of feasibility prior to your gate review. The second session, or PDRI 2, is held at the end of the concept stage. And in large projects, a PDRI 2I, meaning an intermediate session, can be conducted partway through detailed scope. And finally, a PDRI 3 session is conducted at the end of detailed scope and prior to your gate review to proceed into execution. Not all organizations will use all 4 application points. In practice, organizations that successfully implement PDRI as a stage gate deliverable generally conduct a minimum of 2 sessions for each of their projects. PDRI provides a comprehensive scope definition review, and it spans the basis of project decision, your basis of design, and the execution approach. Each of these 3 sections is broken down further into categories and elements. The industrial template that we see here includes 70 elements. As shown in our pie chart, the basis of project decision represents almost half of the total risk that we'll evaluate for each industrial project. The PDRI process we follow at Valency is based on best practices for PDRI facilitation. For every PDRI session, we assign a certified facilitator with the best fit based on the project scope. We start with a kickoff meeting with our client sponsor, where we outline the background documents our facilitator will need to prepare for the PDRI session. In advance of the PDRI session, we also hold a pre-meeting, which generally includes the project manager and our sponsor. It's an opportunity to review questions related to the project scope, discuss any known risk areas, and review the logistics and attendees that are needed to have a successful PDRI session. The session itself requires a half day with participation from all of your main stakeholders. At the conclusion of the session, we prepare the PDRI report using our CARV application. This is intended to be shared with the project team using both the online and PDRI format. In the debrief meeting with the project manager and our sponsor, we'll review in detail how the project scored compared to relevant benchmarks, discuss the recommendations, and drill into the specific action items that were identified in the session. Valency certified PDRI facilitators prepare the summary report in a manner that communicates the risk areas and actionable insights in an easy-to-understand format. Our summary reports are often shared with the senior stakeholders, including the executive team, the board of directors, or investors who need more clarity on how risk is being addressed in a high-profile project. We hope this introduction to PDRI has helped set the table of how to effectively apply the methodology in your organization. For information on engaging Valency to assist your organization in implementing PDRI or providing a certified facilitator to assist with one of your critical projects, please contact us at valencyinc.com or the phone number listed here. Thank you.